Hi, my name's Lee, and this is more about the injustice system. What I'm doing on these videos is I'm going to be reading letters I got from prisoners, some of them innocent, some of them guilty. But we're going to learn about the injustice where people are actually framed and sent to prison. Also, we're going to learn about prison life. Most of you probably say, well, whatever they get, and they deserve it. They committed the crime, so they have to do the time. Well, I agree with doing the time if they commit the crime. But I disagree on the abuse of prisoners and brutality. 80% are going to be getting out someday. And when they come out, you want them to try and contribute to society instead of taking from society. The way our prisons are now, we're turning these people into worse criminals than what they were before. And that costs a whole lot more money when they come out than it does if we do something about the system and if we rehabilitate. So, I'm going to read The Battle Cry of Innocence by Leon Benson. Leon sent this to me in 2003. He's still in prison. He's in Wabash Valley long-term segregation in Carlisle, Indiana. Super maximum security prison. A hellhole. It's a new prison, fairly new, but in fact he came there about 2 years, I think, after it was built. And he has been there since 1999. The date of the sentence was 8/1999, which means that he's been there for 20 years already. And he was 23 years old when he went in. He's 33 now. The earliest date he can get out is August 17th, 2029. So he has at least 20 more years, unless he can prove his innocence. The sad part about it is, based on what you'll hear, I think you'll agree with me that this man is innocent. Now you see my cat's head coming up. And there's my cat. But let's get into this. In the vortex of sudden tornadoes, in the land of perpetual prison pain, confined in the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility Security Housing Unit, referred to as a SHU, within a cell 23 hours a day, an innocent man of dignity and apex integrity dwells. It is July 1999. A then 23-year-old Leon Benson was nefariously, falsely convicted of a crime he absolutely did not commit, nor had any involvement in whatsoever. Now Leon Benson is propelled to battle perpetual woes of the nefarious justice system, with all odds against him. This is Leon's battle cry of innocence. This hurricane of inequity and nightmares began in the wee morning hours of August 8, 1998, when I was socializing with the residents of the Priscilla Apartments located at 1309 Pennsylvania Street in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana. Due to the building high crime history, the poor living conditions, people from the area referred to the same building as Little Vietnam. Blurred by intoxication from my consumption of alcohol, I personally never could recall the exact time or my exact position in the building hallways when a lit firecracker sounds occurred that night. These sounds seemed to come from outside the building. I was in. Everyone paused in the hallway for a second or two and went back socializing after the sounds ceased, and the sounds weren't too alarming because of the time of year. Fireworks were still going off. Spontaneously after the 4th of July. I do recall seeing several individuals at the time of the firecracker sounds. A woman named Shirley Gaskin, a young man named Timothy Gather, and several other individuals. Gaskin and Gather were the only two witnesses willing to come and testify on my behalf at the trial. Many people were afraid to get involved out of fear that the police, and I just couldn't locate them. I truly didn't have any reason in particular to remember anyone that night of the firecracker sounds until a week later on August 14th while I inhaled marijuana and was consuming alcohol. I was talking to Shirley Gaskin in front of the apartment building on New Jersey Street and 13th, just around the corner from where the fatal crime took place just a week before, when after two males acquaintances of Shirley's left our presence, then soon after the IPD arrested us both. I had a warrant for a violation of probation, so I assumed Gaskin had a warrant as well. As we were placed in separate police cars, and then we were taken to the IPD headquarters, which is basically right down the street. Once at the office at the police station, I was taken to a small room with a table and chairs. The police handcuffed my left arm to a metal ring on the wall. Due to my intoxication, I rested my head on my right arm on the table. As I soon fell asleep, hours or minutes later, I truly didn't know, I was boldly awakened by homicide detective Alan Jones and L.A. Van Buskirk.